Hi guys! Welcome to my channel, Table Talk with Clara. As you probably already guessed, my name is Clara and originally I'm from Russia, but I've been living in the US for quite some time now. The only thing I cannot get rid of is my accent, so please just bear with me. On this channel we're going to be discussing different topics and tips that you can use and that will help you to sound smarter around your colleagues, your friends, your family members. So if it sounds interesting to you, please subscribe. I would really appreciate some likes as well. And guys, it's my first video, so if you have any comments, recommendations, advices, please just comment below. I will go through all of them and I promise I will make my notes. So our first topic is going to be Nike. At this moment, Nike is counted as the largest and the most successful sport goods company that is holding around 60% of the market, and obviously it also became quite a trendy icon. Company Nike was founded in 1964 by two men, Bill Bowerman and Phil Knight. Bill Bowerman was a well-known field coach who was always just really passionate about the idea of improving the performance of his students. And Phil Knight actually was the part of his program, so he was the runner. After getting his MBA from Stanford, Phil Knight writes a paper on the topic of selling Japanese shoes in the United States for a low cost. At that moment, most of the market was taken by Germany, and that was pretty much what the athletes liked, and that's what they were buying. So after going around and looking for the investors, Phil Knight realizes that he cannot find anyone. So that's when Bill Bowerman comes back into the picture and offers the idea of doing it on their own, just two of them. The whole idea of this project, the Blue Ribbon Sports, is all about manufacturing Japanese shoes, bringing them to the United States and selling them here. In 1965, they hired their first full-time salesperson, Jeff Johnson. Actually, Jeff Johnson used to be a competitor against Phil Knight in running, so obviously he had a pretty good idea about this industry as well. The whole selling starts in the back of his van, and sometime later they're able to open their first outlet in California that they obviously call Blue Ribbon Sports. Everything is going fine, sales are happening, but in 1971 Bill Bowerman realizes that he's not happy with whatever is happening because he's just not satisfied. He was always really passionate about the idea of the shoes. He wants to design his own shoes. He believes he can bring much more into this world. One morning he decides to borrow a waffle iron from his wife and pours rubber into it. And so this little experiment actually created a really well-known waffle trainer. I bet his wife was not really happy with the whole idea of sacrificing her waffle iron, but maybe later she got a little bit happier about it. This experiment with the waffle trainer leads us to some of the models that are even still popular these days, like a waffle racer, like Air Force One, Air Max 93, Air Max 95, and Air Max 97. So now they have their own shoes going on, their own design, their own company that they're actually created. Now they want to switch the name for it, and the first original idea was to call it Dimension 6. But one night, Jeff Johnson, remember the first full-time salesperson? He dreams of a Greek goddess of victory. And the name of that goddess is actually Nike. That's how the whole name came up. So now you know. Around the same time, in 1971, they decided they need to create a logo for this brand. And they hire Carolyn Davidson, who was a student of graphic design in one of the colleges. They pay her $35 to create something for them, and that's how the swoosh came up. 12 years later, Carolyn receives gold swoosh ring that was decorated with diamonds, plus a stock of Nike, which at this moment worth around $640,000. That's quite a sign of the appreciation, In 1984, Nike signs the contract with Michael Jordan, and of course, that leads to his signature shoe, the Air Jordan. Even though Michael Jordan hasn't played professionally since 2003, he still earns $60 million annually in royalties from Nike, according to Forbes. In 1987, Nike airs the commercial soundtracked by Beatles' Revolution. It's the first and the only time when the Beatles song was used in the TV commercial. In 1999, Bill Bowerman dies on December 24th at the age of 88. In 2004, Nike runs into another problem. Chinese animator Zhu Zhuguang, sounds more French than Chinese, pardon my accent. So Zhu files a lawsuit against Nike, blaming them for using one of his cartoon characters, Stickman. After all the fighting between Nike and Zhu, Nike is sentenced to pay $36,000 to the cartoonist. Around the same time, Nike makes a really good decision to bid to buy one of the competitors, the Converse, for $305 million. In 2004, Phil Knight, one of the founders, steps down from the position of the CEO and the president of Nike, but continues as a chairman. And his position is taken by William Pettis, who stayed as the CEO only for 2 years. Currently, the CEO of Nike is Mark Parker, who was named the third CEO in 2006. So after all this effort, all these big decisions, some luck of course, and obviously some problems, currently Nike is valued at a $10 billion point. It now employs almost 50,000 people all over the world. I guess we can say that they definitely made it. And by the way, if you feel like going crazy with shopping, here's a little tip for you. The biggest store for Nike is located not in the United States, not in the homeland. It's located in London on Oxford Street. But I will just stick to my online. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and I will see you next week. Just, give me some, how do you call it? Whatever. Oh, look at me go. Welcome to my channel, Table Talk with Clara. As you probably already guessed, my name is Clara. Here's the table, and I'm gonna be talking. Trendy icon, trendy icon. It's not that surprising it's taking so fucking long. Zhujiqiang. And he poured ribbon? What? I think I should call. That is so the Beatles song, God. Obviously, they try to what? Finito, comedia. Finito.